Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the another episode of Product Management Interview Experience. And today we have Chaitanya, who has recently joined Byjus as an associate product manager. Welcome, Chaitanya.
Hey Sugat, hi. Thanks a lot for inviting me over. Great to discuss my experience with you and the audience.
Yes, pleasure is all mine, Chaitanya. So, folks who are watching this video, this is a very special episode. Unlike my previous episode, as I have been focusing on much, this is a direct interview, APM role, which Chaitanya has got right after his engineering career. So, I think so many people these days are trying to pivot into product management right after their college, and maybe this will help other folks understanding the journey of Chaitanya and what are the challenges he faced. So, over to Chaitanya, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, Sugat. So, hey everyone, Chaitanya this side. I recently have graduated from NIT Warangal. By recently, I mean this May 2021. And in the fourth year itself, I have been working as a product intern at CRED. Then, as soon as I got graduated, I got into Byjus as an APM recently. So yeah, before that, I worked on a couple of my own startups, which really helped in the experience. So yeah, right now I'm excited about how it's going to be as a product guy, and I'm really looking forward to learn and grow.
Hey, awesome, Chaitanya. So, before I think we jump into straightforward the interview experience for Byju's, would you like to throw
Yeah,
some light on how you got into that product intern role at CRED?
yeah, sure. So basically, so this is how I went about it. If I talk about my product management learning journey, I would divide it into different phases. Let's say awareness ka phase where I got to know what is product management. Then the adoption ka phase where I learned and got in the shoes of product manager and tried to implement certain things. Then going ahead and applying for roles at different companies. So the third thing, how I got into product intern at CRED, I cold mailed a lot of potential recruiters over LinkedIn. Then, I mailed a lot of PMs as well as HRs who hire product people. Then I got a reply from CPO of CRED. Then, we had a discussion, initial discussion on where I explained over LinkedIn itself, where I explained like why I'm passionate to join CRED and my portfolio. I was showing my portfolio and my resume, and try to explain my passion towards product management. Then he scheduled a call with APM. So from there it went ahead with around 5 to 6 rounds, and yeah, that's how I got into CRED as a product intern.
Wow, I think I should come up with another video, especially on the CRED intern part.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think let's focus towards today's main topic, your entire interview experience at Byju's. We would love to
Mhm.
know as much as detailed if possible. So yeah, over to you, Chaitanya.
Yeah, great. So this is how I will go about this. I will walk you through the journey of how I landed the role. I mean, the background work as well as how it went. Basically, before when I started, I think it's around 2 years back when I started pursuing this product management ka journey when I was in my second year ka summer, BTech second year ka summer. So I joined different Slack communities, tried networking to as many product managers as possible, then talking with them. So the point is, at certain point of time, I realized that opportunities can come from any direction. So I was always open and trying to network in all the communities, talking to people, and there are a lot of one thing which I can say about product community is it's one of the best communities, like the product people and everything. Why? Because they are good with empathy, they sense empathy, and they understand how product aspirants think and what they need. So they are ready to hear. That's one thing which I really liked, and that's one thing which which really helped me. So I was in different Slack channels, and at particular point of time, I was being in a discussion with PM School ka co-founder Nikunj regarding my, like I sent him my profile and we were discussing like how I can improve, and he said, okay, your profile is pretty good. I will send you if there are any openings here and there. That's how it started. So I did couple of interviews with the where Nikunj helped me.
We started PM School with the sole aim of helping candidates get into their first product management. The PM School program is essentially a 2-month setup wherein you go through different modules testing yourselves into a product life cycle. 3 important things. You solve case studies, that's how you get tested in real product challenges. You have a mentor who helps you, guides you to understand product management nuances and how do you prepare for product management. 3, eventually get referred within our network of product companies via our mentor.
Then in the Slack channel, in the Slack channel itself, one senior PM who is working at Byjus, he's trying to hire someone who is who has experience with computer vision, an APM with an experience with computer vision. So yeah, I got a chance to go across that message, and I was interested in my second year regarding computer vision machine learning, and I did an interesting project on computer vision, which is basically Harry Potter ka invisible cloak, where I need to put a cloth and I will be invisible. So that was interesting. I did that, and I'm glad that I wrote an article on it, on how to exactly implement, etc. Then I just passed my article, whichever I wrote, to that particular recruiter. Then I think he liked it, and yeah, that's when it started. I got a call from an HR, and yeah, within 3 days, I have been an APM at Byjus. So now in order to I will just go through all the rounds, like how it went, what were the questions asked, and how I answered and how I can answer them better. So
Sure.
yeah, I'll just share my screen.
Sure. So while you're sharing the screen, I think just for the viewers, uh, Chaitanya mentioned a couple of great things which he did, the networking piece of it, where he's trying to understand what product management is all about, trying to reach out to the right folks and seeking help, and also portraying the work he has done in form of projects, which is very important as of now. With the growing competition, you have to stand out and directly reach out to the recruiters with all your work. And then, yeah, I think that's a great example as well, Chaitanya.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sugat. I mean, the projects which we do at that point of time, we don't have in mind that okay, this will help in future. But out of sheer interest, there will be certain products which you do, and they will definitely help. So one thing which I would say is articulate everything you do, like all the projects, everything. Articulate everything you do. That would really help in one way or the other. So yeah, as soon as I got a call from the HR saying like you'll be having an interview with with PMs and possible leads at Byjus. Then she also excused me. She also explained me how the process works, like so transparent, and how the process works, like what will be the agenda of each interview round and etc. So this how the holistic view. This is how the interview was. There were 3 rounds. Don't ask me why Yoda is here. He's just cute, so that's why I put him here. Then there were 3 rounds. First round was with one senior product manager. Then the other round was with another senior product manager. Another second round was with also another senior product manager. Then the third round was with assistant vice president of product at Byjus. So yeah, this is how it went. If I have to summarize, like what will be the one, if you ask me, like what will be the one most important thing, which the interviewers try to test, is a product sense. Like in every interview, it can be different kind of questions, but finally it will come to one thing, which is your product sense. Why? Because I didn't have enough experience. Even the mostly I would resonate with the grad students who are just out of college. They won't have that experience. So product sense is one thing on which the recruiters can evaluate us. So yeah, so basically the interview was divided into each round will be divided into few slots where first they will discuss about our work experience, like what I did in my college, what was my experience in startups, how I worked in my previous organization, what were my responsibilities, all these things. I would say, like, prepare really well for this particular question. Why? Because this question will be asked in every round, and be make the conversation formally friendly. Like I would say, it should not be a robotic conversation. Be friendly, talk to them, make it a communication is really important over here. Make it as simple as possible, and don't stress and everything. Be chilled out. I would say like that will help a lot. And yeah, coming to the questions, what were asked in this first round is uh, what was the product I worked on, maybe directly or indirectly, which I contributed to in the previous organization, which was CRED. Then we went on talking in depth. I mean, this will be in depth. What were the metrics I tracked? How did I track them? What were the different tools I used to use? And how did I go about making a decision? And certain things like what we will go in depth into that particular thing. I mean, the interviewer will go in depth into that particular thing. Then comes the main question, which even you will wonder in the starting when you are trying to get onto the PM journey, is why PM exactly? Is it like why product management? Is it a suitable career for me, etc.? These thoughts will ponder you in the starting, and if you are clear about it, then this particular question will be easy for you to answer. But yeah, I would say take your time on preparing for this thing. Be genuine for it. Why? Because product managers will see through you. That's what they are good at. Product managers will see through you. So yeah, be prepared for that question. If I have to say, not only particular to Byjus, but regarding our work experience, what kind of questions will be asked, then that would be why. Like one particular question would be why Byjus, why CRED, why Swiggy, etc. Like why this company? Why are you totally aligned with this? Why are you really interested in this particular thing? If you are really good at it, then it will help. Then it will help it. Then it will help you while cold mailing, as well as in your interviews. So yeah, it will give you a confidence on going to the next steps. The second kind of questions which were asked is the based on to test your or my product sense. The simple way to test product sense is to to know how I critique a product. What product do I think is great, and how do I see if a product is great or not? So basically, yeah, like most of the aspirants know that this particular question, which is what is your favorite product, why, how will you improve it? This is a generic question. Everyone knows it. Be sure, and this particular question can be asked in different types. Let's say, what is your favorite Google product? What is your physical product? If you are on the table right now, right? So what is the favorite product on your table? So all these things, you just have to be ready with all these things. You will be ready when you are clear with how to approach that particular question, and how you structure your thought process. They don't see like what's your solution, etc. The main thing is how you approach, what kind of questions you ask, and how is your thought process structured. So yeah, this is the thing. To be accurate, the question which was asked for me was, tell about 3 products in your daily life which you were which you are using even now. Then what will be top 3 features in this product? What will be the features you don't like? Then prioritize one particular feature which you don't like, and how will you give a solution for it? So yeah, this was basically this was the round one. It went well. It went well. I mean, yeah, it went well. It went well. So coming to the next question, next round is similar round. Basically, we start with my past experience, how I worked on my startup. Why, like my startup failed? Why did I fail? If I had given a chance to do it again, what would I do better? This was a question, and we would. I mean, it was fun discussion. All the 3 interviews, they are fun discussions. It's not like an interview is going on. It's just like I'm sitting with a bird and I'm talking with him and trying to learn from him. It was really. I mean, all these 3 rounds were really good learning experiences. So yeah, going to second round, similar regarding the past experience. There were similar questions. So all the 3 rounds, the similar questions will be asked regarding past experience. Then coming to the second slot of type of question is the product design ka question. How these can be asked is basically usually aspirants know different how product design questions can be asked. They can be an improvement ka question or to design a product from scratch. And these questions can be based on your discussion with the PM, I mean the recruiter. So till then we were talking with edtech, like we were talking about edtech, like we were deep into edtech, what exactly is interesting in edtech, etc. So I got a question asked regarding edtech to design a phone for deaf people, or if a so my particular question was design and earphones for visually impaired people, and the objective is to cater to students. That was the question. And yeah, it's not about don't directly jump to the solutions. Just talk to him about the problem and express what you are thinking is going beyond the problem. Like if there's a problem happening here, what exactly is happening in the background of the problem? Like, why is this problem occurring? Were there any previous things going on in order to occur to this problem? Yeah, something like that. So this was the question, and how to go about it is ask clarifying questions as many as possible, not for the sake of asking questions, but be curious about it. That's one thing which they really notice. I will like at the end I will say like what things the interviewers notice, but yeah, be really curious about what the problem is, and also you have to clearly communicate how you are going to solve it. And it should be a discussion rather than a Q&A. You will definitely get the answers and some kind of tips, etc., from the interviewer itself. It's a discussion, so keep it as a discussion as as much as possible rather than a Q&A. That would be my main suggestion for these kind of questions. Then yeah, the generic question which can be asked is how would you design X for Y, insert X and Y. Then the second thing is the second kind of question is analysis for questions. Questions can be in different different forms. It can be a guesstimate, it can be a metric question, etc. But mostly in the starting rounds it will be a guesstimate. So this was the first time I have been asked a guesstimate question. For every rounds and all the interviews which I have given, I was being ready with guesstimates, but I was never asked. So when I got this guesstimates, I was really pumped up and I was ready. And the interesting thing is that's I told you, right, these questions can be dependent on your discussion, right? So this question also was mostly on edtech, which was basically calculate, for example, calculate the number of classes going on right now in online mode. Today, calculate the number of online classes going on today for in online mode. So this was the question. And it's really interesting thing. There is certain energy created in the discussion. Right now, the flow carries on, and it went well. And coming to the guesstimates, in the starting when I was preparing for guesstimates, I thought, all right, it was like difficult to do these guesstimates in the starting. I mean, let's say 1.5 years back. But when I went on doing it, and when I went on watching people doing it in YouTube, and then there will be a certain thought process built in my mind when I come to solve these kind of questions, and it will be easy. And when such certain questions were asked regarding which you are interested, basically edtech. So yeah, it will be easy. So be ready with these kind of guesstimates. The guesstimates can be anything. Then the round 3, this was the, I mean, obviously the final round is an important round, right? With a senior leader in the organization. So yeah, the questions were mostly based on my execution, like how well I can execute, what will be the thought process behind taking a decision, and the other round is analytical round, I mean metrics, how what metrics I track, etc. So it started with what metrics I tracked in my previous organization, and what will be the top three metrics the founder can track. If you have to prioritize the top three metrics the founder tracks, then what would be the top three metrics? Then that was the question. So if you have worked in an organization for pretty like more than 1 month, then you'll get to know what are the metrics you are tracking, etc. So be sure that you know everything about your previous organization, how your responsibilities, what you worked on. If you have any documentations, you can show that also. Yeah, so the like what you worked on, what you learned, all these things. Then the second kind of question which was asked was execution question. So basically, for example, the question is this is the type of question which was asked. Let's say if you're a PM at Facebook, friend requests are down by 10%, what would you do? Like if yeah, basically don't directly jump to the solution. That's what they are seeing, that's what they are trying to evaluate. Try to try to break down the problem, what exactly is happening to the problem. There might be a minute thing in the background going on, like a butterfly effect, which might be affecting this. So if you are really passionate PM, you will find out that particular thing. So in order to find out that particular you know uh, problem, you need to ask as many questions as possible. You need to be curious in all ways, in order to break down to that final root cause, right? So yeah, I would say ask as many questions as possible in order to break down that particular problem. And then from there, it's a normal product question where you see like product sense question, where you will be evaluated on your product sense skills. So yeah, and also be sure on the type of metric you are asking. Let's say if you're being asked about a funnel ka convert, like let's say a funnel at a certain point of funnel, this particular metric has dropped. There can be different metrics, let's say engagement, retention, etc. Be sure you know about different types of metrics, and what will be the sub metrics in those metrics, so that the discussion with the interviewer can be good. In order to establish the discussion, you need to know the jargons, and how the metrics can be handled, what different types of metrics are there. So you will get all these things in the internet. There are really interesting stories on metrics, how these metrics are handled, how certain situations are handled. Yeah, that's the thing. And after these execution questions, we talked about behavioral questions, like what would be the one thing you want to do, like when you join this organization, or something similar questions, behavioral questions. So yeah, this is it about my interview experience at Byjus. It was really like interesting. The interview was itself a learning experience for me. After each round, I used to ask for feedback, and I used to learn on that feedback and move on to the next interview. That was really good. So I would say, uh, in order to get the maximum result from an interview, after each round, so there are few things which needs to be done. Sorry, Sugat, if I am just going on continuing and saying. So yeah, there are few things to do before each round. One is reach out to the interviewer. He might not know you, but reach out to him. Get the email from the recruiter, or you can search him on LinkedIn. All the PMs, they will be extroverts, and they will be when you reach out, they will definitely reply. If not replied, you have to assume that they are busy with the work. Again, like I will go back to the thing which I said is PMs are really good with empathy. So they will understand what you're trying to do, and they will definitely reply. Send your work to that particular recruiter, I mean that PM. Tell why you are interested and why you are really willing to get this particular role. Then it will establish a kind of synergy between you and that particular recruiter, and it will carry on throughout the interview. After the interview, get to know your feedback. If you have like ask the PM whether you have anything to improve, he will definitely say. Maybe one day later or something like that, or immediately, but if he will definitely say. Now build upon that feedback, learn as much as possible from that feedback, and go to the next interview. So yeah, this iteration process till the final interview, and this will definitely help. So yeah, Sugat. So
No, I
this is
think
my
great. I think I cannot say anything else. It's been super concise, super smooth how you have explained everything. A couple of new learnings for, in fact, me, right? When you were sharing about that, network with your interviewers also. I think that's a great, brilliant point, which I have also done it so far in my career. I think that's a good piece of advice as well, Chaitanya, and why
yeah
you have to always network with your interviewers post interview. Try connecting with them before the interview and get to know them and share your work as you were suggesting. So,
yeah.
kudos and congratulations once again
Thanks
to
a lot.
be part of
Thanks a lot, Sugat.
Byjus.
Thanks a lot, Sugat.
Awesome. So, Chaitanya, it was really fun talking to you, knowing you, and also your entire Byju's experience. And yeah, we wish you a very good luck for all your upcoming challenges at Byju's.
Thanks a lot, Sugat. It's been great and fun discussion. And
Mhm.
even I went and reminisced everything I did 2 years back from 2 years back. It's been great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this
Awesome,
opportunity.
folks. Thank you.